welcome back to DayBreak. Things are happening pale katika siasa, ni sawa kabisa. Hapa hivi every Wednesday we talk about health, nutrition, and a big part of it is also all about fitness. Mtu asiniambie how fit I am after Manu ichapwe jana. Tafadhali, we are mourning. Just leave us. Leave us in peace. Hey, anyway, away from all of that, today we want to talk about that competing, competitive fitness and what it takes to be there, and some of the challenges therein, the benefits therein for those who may be interested in that. And we have Evelyn Owala. How are you doing?
Good.
Uko salama?
Kabisa, labda wewe.
Hata mimi niko sawa sana.
Yes.
The brand name is Eval Health and Fitness.
Exactly.
Karibu sana. And congratulations, kwanza umekuja na another one of many medals.
Yes.
This is Jantana Classic Elite Pro Show 2002.
Yeah.
Second Wellness
2002.
Fitness. 2022. 2022 Wellness Fitness.
Yes.
This was recently. This was in which country?
This was in Sweden, and it was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
In fact, slightly shy of 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And this is just one of many, because if we go here, let me just briefly go to the bio.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is Eval _health _ fitness. So hapa hivi kuna 5th Annual Classic Europe and World Championship Pro 2001, 1st Annual Championship Africa, 1st Africa Championship, and now this.
Yes.
And many others. So first of all, you are already in fitness.
Yes.
And you are doing well, doing it even as a business. For those who don't know, she was a banker before.
Yes. I was a banker.
And you crossed over.
Yeah.
And now that you're already having clients and doing everything and, making the money here, what made you want to go into it now competitively?
I think it's very fulfilling to be an athlete, and especially just being out there for my country and putting my country in a different stage, because I believe like bodybuilding, well, it's a big sport out there, but my country, I feel like we have athletes here, but they need a little help here and there. Right. But putting it on the international stage is a big deal, because even in my category right now, actually the 7th worldwide, which might change when they include this because the points tally up. So I think it's really a good thing to put my country up there. So it was a chance for me. I was just working out like any other person who wanted to get a good health, but then at some point I was like, maybe I should just compete for the fun of it.
Right.
But now for sure I enjoy it, and I feel like it's a point of leadership and something that I'm doing to show other women that they can do it.
So when you decide, for that first one, how was it like, for the first time you actually stepped on
stage,
international stage, or even a local stage, for that competitively? I'll
start with the local, then go to international.
Yes.
What happened when the first championship was scheduled for in Kenya, which was Miss Nairobi?
Okay.
I didn't think so hard about it. I had some muscle on me, and it was all about, I think I didn't even think about the people who would be affected who are around me. And I'm talking about family, friends, and that kind of thing. Because you see, this sport is like swimming, for example. You go into a swimming pool in a bikini. I mean, you go on stage in a bikini.
Right.
So sometimes some people cannot understand what you're doing, and they have their own interpretation of how you're doing whatever you're doing. So I didn't think so hard about it until after I competed and I was on the paper. Then now
everybody was now calling.
Oh man, now I realized my dad in Shags knew her daughter was walking naked
on a
Nairobi.
Stage in front of people.
Yeah, but it took some time to get the people around me, my loved ones, and everyone to understand my purpose and what I was doing, and how it was not changing my personality in terms of who I am and my upbringing and everything, and them learning that it's a sport. So internationally, when I went, my first championship was in South Africa, Annual Classic Africa. my first amateur championship, which actually earned me the pro card. When I was just going to play. I was, honestly, most people, when you've competed, you're trying to win. That is the honest part. But in this particular instant, I didn't have any expectation. I was just going to play. Right. And, well, looks like I played really well. Yeah, so from there, I think most people started understanding what bodybuilding entails, apart from just regular fitness, apart from, you know, taking care of your health, but they started understanding that these are sports, you can do this, you can do that,
And I think that, was it that time you went when there was a famous clip of Arnold being kicked by somebody?
Yes. It was around that time. So it was very hilarious because it was all over and also the championship was there.
So when you get there, you know, most people when you're just walking into a gym generally, you already feel intimidated by people. So now you're walking in, you're seeing other athletes, some on your same level, probably same weight, some advanced, some you know, or you look up to. How was that?
Oh my God, it was overwhelming because there are some you even assume they're sculptures. I don't know. They just look out of this world. But they're human beings like yourself. And for the first time, for sure, it's intimidating. You go backstage and you find over 400 muscled humans. I mean, it's overwhelming to anyone who's never experienced that, you know, that level of people being in a muscle space. But there are some things that you get to learn from those who are experienced. Let's say like doing international championship is not the same as doing local championship because you have to go, you have to make sure you know where your food is coming, your food has to be prepared in a particular way. There's a way you have to prepare your body. Like for example, the first time I was going in winter, because winter was ending, but it didn't end anyway. So I went into a very cold space and I have to display muscle, and you're from almost 30 degrees on this other side, and you get new experience, learn your body anew each and every time.
Wow. And so when you get there, so like for example, you mentioned that, you know, you went in as an amateur and then it got you the pro card. So what does that mean?
Okay. The simplest way of explaining it is like, I want to do a comparison that probably most people can relate with, which is athletics. For example, if for example, Kipchoge was in bodybuilding, he would be a pro athlete. And there are other junior athletes who are still trying to get to that level. So for bodybuilding, these two kind of types of athletes compete at different levels. So the amateur, once you have to win in the show. And remember, some shows have as long a lineup as maybe 80 people or whatever. So you have to beat everyone to earn a pro card. And it's not all championships that will earn your pro card. So it has to be a championship that earns a pro card.
So in this case, when you say you have to win, you have to be number one, or
you have to be number one. Like literally in your category and overall.
Wow. That's a lot of work and pressure. I wonder how you maintain the level head during all that. And so, and so if once you get so again, are there now levels, like you say now, like if they include this?
So what happens is we have, because there are many athletes who can qualify for pro level. But now World Championships, for the World Championship, and there's only a particular number that has to be there, which it's normally around 15. So with every competition you do, you earn points. So the World Championship is our most prestigious championship. It's like being in the Olympics. So you have to earn points in order to be able to qualify for it. So right now I am at a level where I have good points because I'm number 7. The other 6 are qualified already. So I am next
7
in the world. So I have to put in a little more points to get myself to qualification level, or to maintain even being in number 7 or top 15 to say the least. And most of these championships, unfortunately, they don't happen in Africa. In Africa, we only have 2 championships that can can place you there, of which this year, because of COVID, they are trying to manipulate different categories to do different championships. So this year, it does not have wellness, the category I compete in, which means I have to do a lot of championships in Europe and maybe, you know, Caribbean and that side of the world, yeah.
So if you say, again, now maybe... so the wellness category, what categories?
Okay, what categories are there? Yes. I'm going to talk about the ladies mostly. The lowest category in terms of they are small, they are called softer categories in terms of muscle composition is the bikini. Okay. Then there is wellness. Wellness comes after. It's still soft. I know you don't think I am that soft, but I when I stand where other athletes are, I qualify. So, which means you have to have muscle and you're curvy. Right. With the muscle. So for us, we have bigger legs. We have, like, you can realize, like, I was in a championship like 1.5 weeks ago, and you can see my body is not like petite, like, yeah, so it's something like that. And then there is a figure, or what we call body fitness, where their muscle is harder. They have broader shoulders, and they're more of that shape. Okay. This structure, for most people, it comes naturally, so you just build muscle on it. Most categories, you start from your actual structure. You can't work the other way around, because there's only so much your body can do. Yeah. And then there is physique, which is very hard. Generally, they are the ones you're like, oh my God, that lady is really muscle. Even me as an athlete, I meet them backstage, I'm like, wow. Yeah, so there is that. And then there is bodybuilding, which is not there in our league, in IFBB league. But there is a league that has the female bodybuilding, the ones that now are, you know, they are built, they have size, and they have muscle size, yeah. So all those are different categories. So I mean, wellness is the category that you have to be curvy and have muscle, yeah. And
so now then it looks like you say, this is just looking at you now, this is like, say, almost 1.5 weeks, 2 weeks shy, you said, of the competition. Yeah. So how first of all, question number one, how do you pick like which one and where to go?
Picking depends on my ability to prepare.
Okay.
That is one. And two, okay, I discuss with my coaches. Okay. Because we have to be in sync. Whoever is training to my prep coach.
I'd like to meet that person. Who is training?
I'm gonna have somebody who well, my training myself, I normally push myself so hard. Yeah. But there is a breaking point that you need to reach when you're preparing for champion. Athletes are not, they're not, it's not easy. Right. So you need somebody who pushes you beyond your limit to be able to achieve exceptional performance. Right. Yeah, so we have to be in sync, but most of the time is actually also finance-based, because the bigger part of the financing always comes from saved money from myself, because it's something I really enjoy to do. So if I'm unable to save for it, then I'm unable to do it. Because if I was just to go for any championship that I would want, I mean, I would do like almost like 8 championships, to be honest.
8 in a
year, yeah. Wow. Yeah, it takes around 3 months to prepare for a championship, but you can do, like, you can bunch them up, you know. You can bunch them if there are 2 weeks difference, you can do this and do this. Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Before, of course, most people are wondering what it takes to prepare for a championship. But before that, what is the ideal situation? Because most of, in the fitness world, yes, there've definitely been some growth. We're not where we were, say, maybe 6 years ago. Yeah. But then what are the gaps? What needs to be done to kind of help the fitness world, and then especially people who want to actually compete and carry the Kenyan flag regionally and internationally?
Honestly, I think the biggest need for funding. Okay. And for example, I give myself as an example because I do a lot of championships. Right. you don't have to give me cash. You can buy me an air flight ticket to and fro, or pay accommodation or something like that. It really goes a long way in helping because it subsidizes the budget. If somebody is able to carry the one whole championship, the better. It will give that space, because that is what is lacking. And just having more championships locally, I look at a place like South Africa, they were ahead of us. I mean, almost every weekend they have championships, which are sponsored by different companies that do food, that do, you know, a lot of these energy things, and there's so much that can use fitness, and fitness has a big fan base. Anytime there is a championship, for sure there is a big fan base that come there, that consume these products, and I think it's something that needs looking into. Something like insurance should be promoting a lot of fitness and supporting and putting on the limelight a lot of fitness people as their flag bearers, because once the champion days, even them, their expenditure goes low in terms of encouraging people to be more active, and with that there is a healthier lifestyle.
I mean, because it's it should be that way, because I think WHO, the Kenyan Ministry of Health, people are really struggling when it comes to lifestyle and stuff. So insurance companies, you should be taking this up as well. So if you've mentioned that other countries have, you know, a lot of competitions. So so is that good in just helping prepare the athletes generally, and of course there'll be prize money, etc. Or is it are some of those championships like organization, are they recognized in terms of what you're talking about, the points?
Now you see what happens with these other countries. They have aligned themselves to particular bodies. So you find that even the championships that earn people pro card, if a championship is big, like let's say right now there is Miss East Africa that is being prepared by a gym in Eldoret. And I think it's such a big competition because the winner gets to walk away with 1 million shillings.
Wow.
And I believe that such a championship should be able to muscle up support in terms of just aligning it to a particular federation that is international, so that at least athletes, when they get to win that championship, they also earn themselves a pro card, because something that is for East Africa is likely to attract a lot of people. The other day we had Mr. 001, which attracted, and it really did have a lot of athletes. Like, I think there were over 300 athletes. Just seeing so many people there was so encouraging, and especially the ladies. We had a lot of ladies, and even this one is going to attract a lot of ladies because the pricing is good. Once the pricing is good, more athletes are attracted, and you get to see more talent and who to support or how to support.
Is there a fitness body, and are they helping, or is it how, you know, because, you know, there is rugby, there is football, FKF, or not, which is not working. I think. Is there
I think what happens to technically, yes and no, because it's very difficult for me to know exactly. And that is where one of the biggest problems in releasing funds from the ministry. Because if a ministry will need a proper alignment of an office, but it has been shaky. So we have ready athletes. The way, just whatever is happening in football, this pandemic is everywhere. Like, the athletes are ready, but you get yourself in the, you know, in a lot of intertwined, you know,
so
communication.
No structure.
So yes, so that kind of challenge. So if we were just to look at that alone, we might not be able to properly, you know, support these athletes. But the good news about something like bodybuilding, it's a sport that brings people together, but it's an individual sport, which means if I decide to work and prosper on my own, I could, but it attracts a big fan base if properly mobilized. So which means corporates can still come through without, even if there's no proper structure, you can find organizers if you want to give vouchers instead of, to the individuals and that kind of thing. So, you know, with vouchers, it can only be redeemed by the person if you want to create accountability. So we just be more creative with how to create accountability. And
for you, I guess now, of course, being number 7 in the world and definitely, you know, being the best in Kenya.
Well, probably even in Africa, I think.
Yes. So and being a lady
Yeah.
while at it, there have been many challenges that
Come with
ladies
it.
face. Yes, in fitness. What are some of these, and how have you been able to overcome some of them?
I think one of the biggest problem is the assumption that a lady should not be able to develop muscle, which is so ridiculous because everybody has muscle.
Right.
Or ladies should not have muscle. I'm putting it in quotes because actually every individual has muscle.
Right.
They can decide to develop their muscle, or maybe just have them in whatever circumstance. I mean, if you don't have muscle and you're a man, I wouldn't say you're a lady. You're still a man, right?
Right.
If I have muscle and I'm lady, I'm still a lady.
Right. True that.
Yeah, so those are the kind of that's one of the things that I still try to educate people. And also another point of education is that having muscle does not mean that the person is aggressive.
Right.
Those are two different things. In fact, people who have muscle really love preserving their muscle. They don't want injuries, to be honest. But if you want to look at it like that, then we would have many people fighting people on the streets because they have...
Because I'm in a gym kidogo.
Exactly. Most people who are aggressive are just aggressive, you know. So just people trying to separate that. And another thing is people trying to understand the difference between supplementation and taking of steroids. Yes, so I think people also struggle so much with that, but me being an ambassador for a supplement company, I'm here to advise. Yeah.
So what is the difference? Because again, that's the other thing. People always are scared, you know, they're like, oh, this might give me this might prevent me from doing this, and then people who also miss the plot altogether and forget that it is a supplement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, to put it clearly, just the way you've said, supplements nutrition, which means you cannot do away with your nutrition and take supplements and be okay. But you can do away with the supplementation and take your nutrition and you'll be okay.
Okay.
Now, that's said and done. For example, if you walked into a hospital today and you're anemic, what will the doctor give you?
An iron supplement.
Exactly. It's an iron tab, but that one, people out there will call it an iron tablet and they do not know it's a supplement.
Right.
If you have a problem with your bones, it will be calcium, so on and so on. But now there is also supplementation for protein, carbohydrates, things to slow your metabolism, amino, all these things. So that is what is called supplement. It does not alter your genetic composition, which means you should not take anything that you are not aware of.
Okay.
As an athlete, the number of times I'm tested is so many times, so I am very careful. I carefully read everything that I consume. I advise you to do the same, and if you're not comfortable with whatever you have read and if you've not understood it, please do your research or don't take it before doing your research. Yeah,
because that's the other thing. Even our athletes, you know, at the Olympic stage and stuff, some have been banned because they say, I normally take this supplement. I do know it has a banned substance. So it's something that's really good, and I'm glad that you talk about it as well. So talking about the preparation.
Yeah.
And this is everything from diet to nutrition to all of that. How intense is it? Because again, now let's say in a year you've done how many?
This was the first competition for this year, but I'm yet to go for another one in the next maybe 10 weeks.
Okay.
So it's very intense because during that period you get to train for longer hours. Your food is crazy because they're geared towards depletion. You're trying to cut down, bring your muscle to the surface. There's a lot of sacrifice when it comes to that. So which means I have to, when I wake up, I have to train in the morning 1.5 hours, do my cardio 1 hour, then give myself a break a little bit while I'm working with the rest. Then again, put in another 1 hour of cardio and another 2 hours of workout. So which which means, so my day becomes very intense. But one thing I also have to be very deliberate with is my rest, because if you don't rest, muscle will not thrive. I have to create at least like 30 minutes to 1 hour of just powering off completely. You know, you have to, you know, lie down and just sleep. So it's very intense, and the food is measured to the gram.
Yes.
I'm one person, I will see one grain of something on your plate. I'm like, yo, that is 0.0001 gram left there.
Ukiweka rice grain tatu, grams.
So during competition, that is what happens.
Yes.
But during normal days, I could eat and give myself, you know, a bit here and there. Yeah.
And so if when the other thing that people are, if there's an athlete who's probably watching and somebody who's into fitness and they want to get into it, and they want to get into the competitive part.
Yeah.
What would be your advice to them? Because again, training will be one thing. I guess it takes so much. I always say this, ukiona mtu hata kama ni unaona Ibra hata kama ni mtu hii muscle imejaa tu hivi kidogo, it takes so much work.
Yes.
And that's why we need to respect. Me na respecting Ibra sana na Omari. Well, it's so much work.
Yes.
I personally have shy abs, but but it takes so much work, and there's somebody who's watching and they're like, wow, I want to be, especially if it's a lady, I want to be like Ivan. What would be your advice to them in terms of the discipline and even the nutrition?
It takes a lot of discipline and dedication to achieve whatever you want to achieve in life, anything that you want to achieve. But the utmost discipline is the discipline of food.
Right.
It is very hard because food is enticing. Food will jump into your mouth in your sleep, like literally. Yeah, I mean, like we humans love eating, but we need very little energy to be able to do our normal functioning.
Right.
So, which means you have to be very deliberate and very aware. So, discipline and consistency. If you do something over and over, if you go there to work out every single day, you cannot miss getting some sort of result.
Right.
Just you know, find a way of making things better, but just start slowly and just be consistent and disciplined.
And so in a situation where, like now, you said it is 10 weeks out, when does the training, okay, I mean now it's intense, but when does it start getting intense? The grams, you can't just, and you have to eat at a specific time.
Well, you see, let me tell you what happens. Because right now I was from another championship. It takes like around 12 weeks for me to properly prepare. But if you're from another championship, I have to backtrack my body. Like I have to give it surplus to backtrack it a little bit. That's when I start again. The reason that happens is because you can peak early. Your body can be ready before the day of championship, because remember, it's a body. It's not something that you turn on and off. So you backtrack it a little bit so that you give it time, or you can eat into your muscle, because when you are too lean, then now the muscle starts going smaller and smaller because the body is eating into it. Right. So I had to backtrack a little bit. Because I'm from a championship. Right. So I eat slightly more in surplus, maybe for the next 10 to 14 days.
I'm interested, what is a surplus?
Well, I wish it was a regular surplus, but it's not a regular surplus, which means I can have one cheat day in a weekend, for example, and I can have slightly like double the grams of carbs that I normally have, and I can throw in some extra fats, like avocado and stuff, just to backtrack my system a little bit. Then we start again.
So what would be a cheat meal?
Oh, my ideal cheat meal.
Cheat meal anyway, what is yours?
Well, my cheat meal varies, but I like Oreo shake, so I can have that. So the problem is you'll find most of the time I've eaten and my normal meals, you get used to it anyway. Right. You get used to your chicken and stuff and all that. But then I can have a glass of Oreo shake, or maybe a day to competition, by the way, sometimes I have very good cheat meals. Like this last one, my coach said I have pizza. I was so excited. I munched that pizza. Enjoy.
And this is a day two.
Yeah, a day two. What happens is during that time we're trying to bring the muscles up. So sometimes it can need a little extra fat and a little extra carbohydrates. Okay. So we put in that. But then the water is low so that your body does not retain water. It's ni ile bio class ulimiss kabisa.
Mimi Brida alisema bio na chem kidogo. But that's what I'm saying. I think it's also then I guess you also need sort of a team around you, because apart from having the knowledge yourself, it seems to me that it is actually a science. Yeah.
Okay. What happens when I'm going for championship? I like releasing myself from the pressure of thinking about my body, because once I start doing that, you start comparing yourself to others, and if you see anybody on the internet iko na maneno mingi, you start having pressure about your body. Is it good enough? Is it gonna? So I release that pressure, and that is why I have coaches. That is one of the reasons. So I let them worry about my body. If they see something that is not coming through, I let them worry about it. And my biggest support, of course, is my husband. He's been so amazing, because every championship he's there with me. And he's always, you know, sometimes when I'm depleted and I don't have energy, feeling all so moody, he's just there tolerating me.
Yeah, because it affects that as well.
Yeah, it affects that, because you see, when you're depleted, when you're lean, I mean, you kind of feel like you are almost sick, kind of, because you're in a state where the body is fighting, and also you're trying to look normal. So it's a very delicate place, because Willis might not understand what I'm going through or whatever. Yeah. Oh, you will.
Yes.
Yes. So, but you understand what I'm talking about. Yes. Yeah.
So the other thing is also, now that apart from this, as Eval, how do you balance? Because this is 10 weeks, you want to get into another championship, you have to train for, you said, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 1.5 hours. Then in the middle, you have clients as well. How do you balance all this?
You know, you remember when you were in campus and when you started, your job, you're told time management.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that skill, the things I learned in corporate, to be honest, that are really helpful right now in terms of thinking strategically, when to do what. I mean, in any business, there's an downtime and all that, and also there is the bit where you know, right now, the good thing is that the good thing is the bad thing. The pandemic brought other things that were not there before, like for me, online virtual training. So some clients, you can meet them virtually even though you're away, and that kind of thing when you're able to. So it makes things a little easier and manageable. And there is a whole team that also works around me that just makes sure everything is running perfectly okay. Yeah.
So if let's say people, now this is April, right? So again, you are having to deal with, kuna watu walikuwa na target. Walikwambia, Evelyn, unaona January? Niko na wewe kwa gym. So how do you deal with also just in terms of clients who, start stop, or who walisema by April, because that's like a quarter. Yes, by April, I'll have
achieved
this and this, and probably they don't hit it.
Okay, how I view our product is a product that is wholesome. It is not just about, you make the client understand that it is not just about the weight loss. The weight loss might be the thing that brought them there, but you're looking forward to a wholesome transformation. There are people, the thing about fitness is you can never force someone with fitness. It's a very complicated thing, but you make them understand in such a way that they know the importance and understand why they're there, and know that it's an investment on themselves. Because fitness is one of those things that you just reward yourself. You don't reward anyone. Even if you come there and you transform, you're not rewarding Eval, you're rewarding yourself. That benefit, that feel-good feeling, that confidence, that good health, that lack of downtime is entirely on you. Yeah. All
right. And also for your clients, I normally see around the end of, is it the year or some end of seasons and everything, you encourage internal competition.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yes.
And the events you do as well.
Yes, what we do is we realize that we all need some little motivation, and part of the motivation is just knowing that there's some sort of reward. And sometimes you can fail to look at the body transformation as the reward. So we create an external reward that rewards people who have been putting in the work, trying to be consistent, because for sure they have put in a lot of work for them to be consistent all that time. So we created a reward system for those kind of clients.
Right,
yeah.
right. So that there's number one, number two.
Yes, there is. Yes.
And they win different things.
They win different things. They win vouchers. We live for Christmas happy.
Yeah. All right, that's absolutely great. It's a good thing. Kila mtu akiwa na reward system, excuse me, hata sisi tunataka reward system. Anyway, so back to now the competition. There are 10 weeks. There are people who probably will watch this and want to reach out. I want you to again just say some of the areas that that are needed in terms of, as you prepare, areas that people can kind of chip in and come in.
Okay, one, I will start with the travel, because the heaviest burden for me is normally travel. Okay. I wish there were even airlines that could just give tickets. Right. It would go a long way. And then again, something that I can tell athletes who transit, because they have to prepare for the transit. Right. You know, like when you're transiting, I just thought of this, it's not in the question that you asked, but I thought it is important to mention. Yeah. Because when you're on transit, let's say you're living here for Barcelona, for example, those are like almost 13 or 14 hours of transit, and you can't eat anywhere, and you're on a flight, and you can't eat flight food because it has salt, it has this. So you have to prepare on what is consumable that you can carry with you.
Oh, I never thought about that, because it doesn't stop just because you're on a 13-hour flight.
Yes, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop, and sometimes that alone can affect your performance on stage, because 13 hours is a long time. Sometimes you can get yourself in a 30-hour flight. It's a long time. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. So there's that, and then.
But then now we were talking about what I need people to help me with. I talked about the tickets, accommodation, and these are things that you can properly document and show that this is what is needed. Accommodation, and then there is the food, whether it's the food here or the food, while you're there, because still you have accommodation and food while you're there, which is, you can't eat hotel food. You have to prepare your food. You can only eat hotel food after the competition. Wow. Yeah, so all those things are major expenses. So
you'll have to actually get there and go and try to shop for this food? Is that what
let me tell you, you even have to figure out how you're going to cook it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because, that's true. I've never actually thought about the travel there. Naga tu Evelyn on the stage, hurrah, hurrah, ameshinda. Yeah. But so there's that as well. So there's how to, and again, it's now reading the labels and I guess trusting the labels.
Oh my goodness. Even if you're in a country where you don't understand the language, you have to get like some Google Translate. No, Google Translate. Some of the countries the people are not so approachable. Kenya, you can always ask, excuse me,
yes.
Does this have salt?
Yes.
Yeah, so you have to go there, figure out everything. But I think it's an interesting experience, because every country you go to, the things are done differently. Like this time around I was in Sweden, I realized from where we were, all I saw was a lot of flavored water. So you're looking for the normal water. It's not easy to get. Yeah.
All right. So if of course they'll want to reach out to you and get you, and you'll tell them how to and where. So this 10 weeks on, where is it?
The next, it's in Inter Island, in St. Martin's. It's somewhere between around. It's on the border of France or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so unaenda Ufaransa. Hapo
around Ufaransa. Yeah, but it's a good place. I'm hoping the weather would be accommodative. I was scared for Sweden, but still we got to get second in Sweden, which was an amazing experience. I hope the weather will be better when we are that other side at that time. Yeah.
All right, and so of course if people want to get in touch with you, first of all, for the business side in terms of partnerships and all that, how can they get in touch with you?
I'll give them a number, 0713 661 730. or they can
Say
go
the number again.
0713-661-730. Or you can check us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, Eval Health and Fitness, EVEAL Health and Fitness. If you're checking on Instagram, Eval_health_, and yes, every word has
an underscore.
An underscore on Instagram. Yes, that's how they can catch us. And we do an amazing job with the body transformation, so it's an amazing
Yeah, that's the thing, because it's not too late to join. You can join it, like you said, lazima ukishakuwa mentally prepared, because Evelyn will push you, I guarantee you. But yeah,
with love.
With love, indeed. If once you're mentally prepared, of course, you can go ahead and contact Evelyn. But of course, we wish you all the best. I guess finally we will once again make an appeal to the bodies that are concerned. I guess when it's interesting, almost baffling, if somebody is actually flying the Kenyan flag, it should go without saying that the government and the bodies should actually be there, sort of helping them out. So what do you think would, in that regard, what do you think can be done there to kind of help athletes and people who are competing?
I think even in those countries, because we have embassies.
Okay.
I mean, I wish bodybuilding is a sport that is still growing, and most of the time you can find like a championship just has me, for example, and probably I'm traveling with my husband. That's something that there can be a space where they can accommodate someone, and just tell you, okay, you can be accommodated in this space for this for like a week, that kind of thing, so that it reduces down on the expense. Yeah, so for me, anything that cuts expense goes a long way.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good stuff, yeah. So also turn out, if you follow Eval here and uone anaenda huko na unajua uko na watu wako huko diaspora na anakuja huko.
Yes.
Yeah, pia Wakenya.
Yes, cheering squad.
Yeah, cheering squad. Imagine, ukiangalia the stands or whatever and you see somebody waving a Kenyan flag.
Yes, it's very encouraging. Yeah,
it's very encouraging. So hopefully, that can happen as well. So let's reach out, let's help. And the one that's happening, I think, in Eldoret, are you involved in that one as well?
Maybe in trying to help organize, because you see, ideally, as a pro athlete, I can't. My federation would not find it interesting that I do an amateur show. So it has a very attractive cash prize.
Yes,
I would have wanted to.
1 million.
I would have wanted to, but due to other factors that need to be considered, it would be a challenge for me to do it. It would create some level of, so
it's good. I mean, it's but
contradiction.
Kudos to them as well, and kudos to everybody who's in Kenya and organizing all of these competitions as well to help, and kudos to the entire fitness fraternity. Let me tell you, hey, fitness ni kazi
tena sana.
Ni kazi tena sana, and kudos to you as well. Well, I want to end it there. Like she said, you can reach out on her numbers. You can reach at Eval Health and Fitness. On Facebook, it's just Eval Health and Fitness.
Yes.
EVEAL. You can reach her there for any of the inquiries. If you're watching, if you are near Boswako, you can catch this interview later on YouTube as well. Itakuwa sawa tena sana. Coming up in a short while, it's the top of the hour. Coming up, of course, is going to be, Trevor had a very interesting interview earlier on. We're going to rerun that. And then from 10 a.m., of course, SEMA 2022, it is, a lot is going on politically and otherwise, and insecurity and all those issues that are happening in different parts. Our team is ready to make sure you are informed of all this and more. So, today, also, Chelsea is facing Arsenal. As usual, Arsenal, I wish you the worst. 2-8. Mungu awabariki sana.